My husband didn't yell or get angry. He just said, "Thank you for showing me the truth," and vanished. I honestly thought my husband was just upset. Not heartbroken, not done, just upset. The kind of upset that fades after a few quiet days, an apology, maybe a long talk at the kitchen table. I had no idea that what I was about to witness wasn't anger at all. It was acceptance. And the moment he thanked me and walked away, I realized I'd misread everything. It happened on an ordinary evening, which somehow makes it worse. No shouting, no dramatic confession, just a normal weekday after work. I had come home late again, not because of anything serious, just drinks with coworkers that turned into one more round. I didn't think it was a big deal. I'd done it before. When I walked in, my husband, Noah, was sitting on the couch. The TV was on, but he wasn't watching it. He looked tired, not angry. That actually relaxed me. "Hey," I said casually, tossing my bag down. "Sorry I'm late," he nodded. I figured that was it. No questions, no sarcasm, no edge in his voice. I told myself, "See, he's just a little annoyed." I went into the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and kept talking like everything was normal. I told him about work, about a funny story from the bar, about how one of my coworkers embarrassed herself on the dance floor. Noah listened quietly, too quietly. Normally, he'd interrupt, ask questions, smile, even tease me a little. But that night, he just sat there, hands folded, eyes calm. Finally, I asked, "You okay? You're being kind of quiet." He looked at me and said, "I'm listening." That should have been my first warning. I sat down across from him, suddenly feeling defensive. "If this is about me going out again, I told you it's not a big deal." He nodded again. "You're right." That answer threw me off. Usually, this was where the argument started. He'd say he felt ignored. I'd say he was overreacting. We'd go in circles until one of us gave up. But not this time. "I just don't want you mad," I added, trying to keep control of the situation. "I'm not mad," he said. There was something final in his tone that made my chest tighten. I leaned back and crossed my arms. "Then what is this?" Noah was quiet for a moment. Then he stood up slowly, not in a dramatic way, just calmly, like he'd already decided what came next. He walked into the bedroom. I followed, irritated now. "Can you at least tell me what's going on?" I snapped. "You're acting weird." He opened the closet and took out a small suitcase. That's when my irritation turned into confusion. "What are you doing?" I asked, laughing a little. "You're not leaving. You're just upset." He didn't look at me. He started folding clothes with steady hands. That laugh died in my throat. "Noah," I said more sharply, stopped. "This isn't funny." He paused, finally meeting my eyes, and that's when I saw it. Not anger, not sadness, clarity. "I've been upset for a long time," he said calmly. "Tonight just helped me see things clearly." I felt my heart start racing. "See what clearly?" He zipped the suitcase halfway, then stopped. He looked at me with a strange softness that "I've been asking for respect in a language you don't hear," he said. "And I'm tired of translating." I tried to argue. "I never said I didn't care. He raised his hand gently. "I know. And that's the problem." My throat tightened. "So what? You're just going to walk out because I stayed out late?" He shook his head slowly. "No, I'm walking out because every time I tell you how I feel, you tell me it's not a big deal." I opened my mouth to defend myself, but nothing came out. He continued, "You don't cheat, you don't scream, you don't insult me, you just choose everything else over me again and again." That hit harder than any accusation. "I thought you understood," he said. "But tonight I realized something." I whispered, "What?" He smiled faintly, not a happy smile, a tired one. "That you're not cruel, you're just done trying. And I deserve to stop trying, too." Panic rushed through me. "You're overreacting. You're just upset. We can talk about this tomorrow." That's when he did something I'll never forget. He looked at me and said, "Thank you." I blinked. "For what?" "For being honest with who you are," he replied. Finally made my decision easy. My chest felt hollow. "Noah, please." He picked up the suitcase and walked toward the door. I followed him, my voice breaking. "You're really leaving just like that?" He stopped at the doorway and turned back one last time. "I didn't leave just now," he said gently. I left months ago. Tonight. You just noticed. Then he stepped forward, kissed my forehead softly, and said the words that ended everything. Take care. And he walked out. No shouting. No slam doors. No dramatic goodbye. Just the sound of the door closing behind him. I stood there in silence, staring at the empty space where he had been. Took hours for the reality to sink in. He hadn't walked away because he was upset. He was because I mistook patience for weakness and silence for forgiveness. By the time I understood the difference, he was already gone.